Hey guys, Deslutter Magic here, and apparently this is going to be a pretty rough video because I just can't talk today, and I'm getting sick of re-recording this. So, oh well, deal with it. Anyway, I keep getting questions over and over and over from people in real life and online and everywhere. Okay, so, how does selling Magic cards work? Like, how do you do it? When do you do it? How much do you pay? Do you split them apart? Do you sell them sealed? When do you sell them? Do you reorder? Do you hold cards? Do you not? Basically every question imaginable. And I'm going to answer them all at once by just giving people an overview of how card selling works. But spoiler alert, by the end of the video, you're going to have figured out that you shouldn't do it and it's awful and it's a crooked, broken industry and there's no money to be made. So like I said, spoiler alert, if you were all, rainbows and kittens about selling Magic cards, no, it's awful. Yeah, it's just kind of unfair, broken, and awful. Don't do it. Don't even think about doing it. Anyway, there are three types of sellers. So let's start with the type that I am, because that's the one that doesn't make any money. Now, the way I sell, I use tracking because I absolutely refuse to get ripped off for even like $3. I mean, if somebody's like, oh, I never got my cards, and they did, I can't prove it. I don't have tracking. I don't care if it costs, 49 or whatever to 65 cents to send it in an envelope with no tracking. I'm not going to get ripped off, period. And I also sell on eBay, and their fee structure is ridiculous. They just split off PayPal into a separate company for absolutely no reason other than to kill their own business. Oh, look, suddenly PayPal is charging more in fees. Wow, what a surprise. I didn't see that coming. I wonder if sellers like me are going to look at the bottom line and say it now costs a couple percent more to sell things on eBay. I'm not going to. I mean, eBay, just their management, oh god, that could be a whole nother video. But yeah, basically between the fees, the bubble mailers, all this stuff, it's rough. It really costs a lot of money to send out orders. And because I'm not Card Kingdom, let's just use them because they sponsor other channels that I hate. Because I'm not Card Kingdom, people don't just perpetually go to my eBay store and just be like, hey, I'm going to order my entire deck from him, which would be nice because then I can make some money on some commons and uncommons while only paying, a certain amount for the shipping. Oh, and it takes a lot of cards to go above 3 ounces, so trust me, the shipping is already paid for. So that would be nice, but one reason that people don't do that is because I don't sell commons and uncommons. Why? Because it's a complete waste of time and money. If you just take some random garbage bulk common and look it up on eBay, it's like $1.50 to $2, all things considered, and they're gonna send it in an envelope and maybe use some cheapo like top loader thing, and that's it. You gotta pay like a penny for the envelope and like 49 to 65 cents depending upon if it's machinable or not and how picky your local post office is. And, then a percentage of fees on like $2. Who cares what the percent is? Ooh, 10%, you lose 20 cents, whatever. Then you make like $1 profit. Cool. Honestly, it's not even worth the sorting time to me, and I don't have the square footage anyway. Oh, and besides it being a gigantic waste of time and money, basically eBay will, downgrade you, I guess it is. They'll rate you lower. You'll lose your top rated seller status if I believe it is more than 10% of your listings or sales or whatever do not have tracking. They're so sick of he said, she said disputes where they always side with the buyer. If they say it didn't show up, then guess what? It didn't show up. I could have 10,000 feedback and they could have 5 and they'll still side with the buyer. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. But it is what it is, so those are two really good reasons that I don't sell commons and uncommons. I just sell rares. Now, the other thing is, bulk rares are, 50 cents a piece? They're basically the same damn price. I mean, it's like $2-3 for a set of 4 of anything. So I don't sell those either because, like I said, $2.61 for 1 ounce first-class tracked mail. It was lower. It was like $2.30, $2.40 or something, but still, I mean, that's above the entire sale cost of the item. So if you're going to do that, you are forced to send them in envelopes. So basically what I do is I open a bunch of stuff, sell it as quickly as possible, sell it in sets of 4 only, and, if it's a $40, $50 set of 4, cool, it's whatever. It's like $3 to send it, all things considered. Maybe $3.50 after fees, so that's such a small percentage, it's like, okay, cool, I can actually make some money doing this. Except not really, because once you do that, you're left over with a ton of cards worth a ton of cumulative value. You just literally cannot sell them. I mean, it can't be done, not the way that you want to. eBay, if you lose top rated seller status, will charge you 20% more in fees. So trust me, it is not worth it, and the people doing it clearly do not know how to do math. Now, the only other saving grace is what the other two types do. So let's talk about the large super sellers. Let's just pretend they're called Card Kingdom because they are, and that's a good example. All right, so you know if you go to Card Kingdom that you're going to be able to pick up your whole deck, except they keep selling out of stuff, but that's because nobody was dumb enough to open Ixalan in any kind of quantity. It's worthless. Its box EV is sitting at like $70. It's garbage, dead on arrival product. Nobody's touching it, and if you can't get the cards, too bad, it's not our problem. Sincerely, all sellers worldwide. Sorry, not sorry. But in general, if you're not a net decking douchebag who buys the same cards as everybody else, you could go to Card Kingdom and pick up your whole deck all at once. Now, what is the sheer numeric, unadjusted probability that your deck will be 100% rares and mythics? Not real high. I mean, you got to put a negate in there somewhere. So you have to build a deck, pick up commons and uncommons, and it's pretty uncommon for somebody to go to Card Kingdom and just pick up like 4 of these commons, and 1 of these uncommons. That's it. That's their whole order. If they did that, Card Kingdom would naturally lose money because it's just not worth it to send out some order that's that size. Except that's not true, because in that case, they would charge a bare minimum floor shipping price. So if you're dumb enough to make an order of like common, uncommon, okay, it's a $2 order cumulatively, send it to me, you're probably going to be paying a couple dollars in shipping. Now, if you make a $300 order, they might even waive shipping. I don't remember. I can't remember the last time I ordered from them. But yeah, if you made a really, really tiny order, they're going to ensure that they do not lose money on any sale or order that leaves their facility. That is smart. I mean, it might sound like unfair, but who says you're entitled to get cards for a certain price? I mean, envelopes cost money. Like, if a company keeps telling you, oh, shipping is free, no, you're paying for shipping. It's built into the price. I mean, come on, don't be dumb. Even Amazon Prime, it's built into the price of the item. Trust me. So anyway, those are like the super sellers where they open, $1 million worth of product or something just absurd like that. Plus they have buy lists where people constantly send them really valuable cards. And so they know they're going to make money because every single sale that leaves the facility, or whatever you want to call it, the store, the, website, I guess, every sale that they make is going to make the money at a certain point. So then the only variable is how much they're going to sell. And, they'll order conservatively if a set looks kind of bad, or they'll just order conservatively in the first place. Because honestly, if I call up my vendor on Monday after a set is released on Friday and say I need 37 cases of booster boxes, they have them. I mean, Wizards always sends them way more than they legitimately need or can sell. Then the whole wave 2 is a whole nother nightmare because they try to force it on the distributors. And like I said, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Don't get involved in it. It's not worth it. You'll lose money unless you're the size of Card Kingdom. Then maybe you won't. I have a feeling that with the quality EV of Ixalan, they lost money on it, but, they sell other stuff too. Well, I mean, cards for other formats. I don't know. They probably do sell other stuff. So they've got it pretty locked down, and what really helps them is, well, I pretty much always said it, is people will come in and say, I need 4 of this rare, 4 of this mythic, 4 of this card, 2 of this card, 1 of this card, 4 of these lands, and give me these 4 commons, these 4 commons, these 4 uncommons, these 4 uncommons. And it's like, okay, a $40 order just went to a $50 order because you had to order the rest of the deck. And then everybody knows if you take every valuable rare and mythic and foil and everything and sell it, you'll be about even on the typical, bunches of boxes. We'll just say 100 boxes. Okay, you take 100 boxes, open them all, sell all the rares and mythics that are valuable. You'll be somewhere around even with a pretty good selling set, like a normal set. So then your profit comes from the commons and uncommons, because I think if you just look at the number of commons in a box and then multiply it by 25 cents, it's worth more than the entire box EV by far. Like the commons and uncommons for sure together are worth more than the rares and mythics. Now, you're not going to sell every last one of them. Trust me, that is never going to happen. But still, some commons and uncommons are sought after enough, they're in high enough demand that people might order, 100, 1,000 of them, whatever, and then, hey, there's your money. Even at 25 cents a piece, there's your money, and you're already sending the person a shipment, so the shipping cost on them is effectively zero. And then they operate outside of eBay, so all they have is maybe a credit card company taking 1.5%, 2%. So it's a much, much, much more profitable, smarter way to sell Magic cards. The main problem with it is, okay, if everybody wants the stupid flip Jace and he hits $70, $80, you're going to be sold out, and you're going to be sold out for a long time. You can raise the price to $55 on a buy list, and still, people want them, they want to trade them, they want to keep them, they want to use them. There just aren't enough of certain cards to go around. But if people constantly go to your website and you're sold out of the top 5 most popular cards every time, every set, they're going to stop getting the rest of their deck at your website. And that is disastrous. There is absolutely no cure for it, because if people just want a handful of 5 or 10 super popular cards and you're opening entire boxes of commons, uncommons, and bulk rares, you're losing all the money on them to just pocket the money on just those couple cards. It's a losing prospect. So basically, you cannot open more boxes, or every box you open, you'll lose money. And if people aren't sending in the cards on a buy list, you have nowhere else to go. You could maybe, if you got desperate and just wanted to save face, go on eBay and buy 32 more copies of an ultra popular card and then just sell them at what's effectively a loss. But hey, that's what a lot of them end up doing from what I heard, and that's the only way to stay in business and have a good reputation, basically. You just cannot have the toxic, company-ruining reputation of always being out of the top cards every time a set comes out. It'll just kill your whole business. So difficult but more profitable, but the initial investment and ordering that kind of volume from your vendor, it's hard to set up. You basically have to work your way up to it. So you can't just wake up one morning and say, yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, you need so much, and then the whole net 30 versus credit cards versus credit cards with high enough balances. It just, don't even get me started on that. It's just, you can't do it unless you've been selling Magic cards for a long time at the small scale. So both of them have their problems, but clearly being a giant seller is much more profitable, smarter, and easier. Not perfect, but easier. What's the third type of seller, you might be wondering? Assuming that in this version of the recording I mentioned that there was 3. Running a local gaming store, obviously. That's another type of card sellers and another type of single sellers. So sparing the couple LGSs that do not sell singles at all, which that's just dumb. Fastest way to kill your F&M and kill standard is to not sell cards. I, for one, am certainly not going to just simply buy boxes and packs until I open the card I want. That's stupid. I think mathematically that would take $1,400 or something like that, so no. Hey, I should make a video on that. How many boxes would you have to buy and open to get almost guaranteed 4 of every card? It is a shockingly high number. The answer may shock you. Watch till the end. But let's talk about the LGSs that do sell singles, or as a lot of my friends call them, your local LGS. Yes, your local gaming store. Or even better, your local LGS store. I've heard that one. Your local gaming store. Really, people? Anyway, they will get in a box for, at a respectably high volume, if it's a pretty big store in a pretty big area, we'll say, they'll get boxes for about $82, $81. At really high volumes, I've heard of 78, 79, but that's usually only when, the boxes aren't selling very well, or I should say that set. So that's not bad, and then everybody they sell it to will say 100, 105 a box, 125 a box. If they want to be jerks, $143 a box. Whatever they choose to sell it at, we'll just say, I don't know, 110. That's splitting the difference, I guess. They are guaranteed about $30 profit per box. It doesn't matter what's in the box. It doesn't matter what the person pulls. There's no buying, selling, shipping, nothing. And, let's talk about shipping for a second. You guys already grasped the concept of static pricing with static markups and guaranteed, margins and all that crap. They don't have to pay for shipping, and just to ship a box in America costs bare minimum about $7 to $8. And that's if you're selling it to some guy down the street, okay? You should probably just drive it over yourself. If you're shipping it from New York to California, forget it. You're looking at $11, $12. I mean, you basically just can't do it. Trust me, Wisconsin to California isn't even a pretty price. I've shipped some pretty heavy stuff there, and it is not nice. The boxes are also fragile, and if they get the least bit damaged, the cards will get damaged, and yeah, it's just a horrible all-around, thing to ship a sealed box. So not having to pay for shipping, huge. Whoopsies, they have to pay sales tax, though, because it's not interstate, it's local. So in Wisconsin, it's 5%, depending upon what county you're in. And if you go to some, liberal-run Democrat garbage crap hole like California, it'll be what are they at, 11% or something? I heard it's so bad that there are no car dealerships within 100 miles of the borders because nobody in their right mind would be like, I'll pay an extra 10% on my car, sure. Oh, a $20,000 car, $2,000 sales tax? I don't need to drive across the border to Nevada. I don't need $2,000. Remember like 10 years ago when California requested a federal bailout because they were so far in debt because they just don't know how to spend money, I guess? Oh, and they already have like the highest tax rate in the entire US. Yay, Democrat-run budgets, woo! Anyway, sales tax can be a bit of an issue. I think Wisconsin has some of the lowest sales tax. I could have sworn there's some state that has a sales tax of like 0. It's probably one of those crappy states with like toll booths though. They get the money somehow. They don't just not spend money. So that's a huge factor. So that and shipping almost like offset in some cases. Like in Wisconsin, it would be a $110 box. What is that? $5.50 in sales tax? And like I said, if you want to ship it to Illinois, you got about $7-8 in shipping. It's pretty darn close. But no eBay fees, no Amazon fees, no Card Shark fees, no TCG player fees, no any fees. No middleman whatsoever. And they can accept cash instead of PayPal, which will charge even more fees. Or, credit cards. I mean, okay, credit cards online versus local. There's about a 1% difference due to liability and theft chance. But other than that, I mean, let's just settle on it's cheaper to sell them locally. And like I said, you got to fall back on the whole, it's always going to cost, $81 a box, and you're always going to sell them for $110. It is always going to make you about $30. And the only question is volume. It's just you can't lose money on a box. If you do open it and sort out the singles, you can lose money on a box. And if you open 1,000 of them, you still can lose money on all of them. It depends how good or bad the set is. And that's why a lot of local gaming stores do stay in business, because it doesn't matter how good or bad the set is, they're still gonna make $30. Now, maybe they have to mark the prices down, maybe they absolutely refuse to do that, but the other thing is, okay, we bought 100 boxes, and instead of selling all 100 on the Friday release, and now we gotta order more, we sold 20 boxes because nobody wants this toxic garbage pile of a set. It's worthless, the EV is crap, and nobody's buying it, so, okay. I guess we won't be reordering, and then you just maybe, in drastic cases, you mark it down. I mean, people know that you can get a replacement shipment within like literally a day. Like I said, call up Monday, get it Tuesday. That's how quick it is. The distributors have it, trust me. So a lot of places know to order really, really low in the first place just in case it doesn't sell, and if it does sell, everybody orders more all at once. And if it really doesn't sell, I mean, I think my distributor still has Journey into Nyx for sale. Yeah, they basically get stuck with it and tell Wizards, thanks for printing a garbage set, you just lost us a couple million. Awesome. So I would say sealed product at a local gaming store versus singles, it's not even close. I mean, they sell so many sealed boosters and boxes compared to the volume of singles. I mean, even a lot that I know of, even ones that closed down, they were only opening, one case, 6 booster boxes, and that's where they got their singles from. That's it. Now, a lot of them will have like a trade-in policy, some kind of buy list or something, like an in-store credit thing. And those are nice because an in-store credit only trade-in system for 60, 70, 80% of a card's value, that's even more guaranteed money because, some people are just going to let the funds expire depending upon your local laws. Or, they're guaranteed to make a sale that already has a margin on it. So you're like getting a margin twice. That's brilliant. It's like a loop. It's like leveraging, or there's some term for it. I don't know. But now keep in mind, you could walk into your LGS and be like, okay, this card is $7 here, but it's $6 on TCG Player. Okay, I only need 2 copies of the card. Oh, but, $3 shipping, no matter where I order it from. Any vendor in the world is $3 shipping. So LGS owners know this, okay? They will mark up the cards just to the point where it's cheaper than the card would be with shipping, but higher than its stated book value, I guess you would say. So not only can they charge more, but they don't have to spend the more on shipping, which is what everybody online does. So honestly, being a local gaming store and selling stuff locally is extremely lucrative. The only problem is you've got to maintain a big inventory or people are just going to go get the cards online. And, if you're looking for a couple cards, cool, you pick them up. If you're looking for an entire deck, the chances of you going into a local gaming store and being able to build an entire deck with 4 of everything, not very likely. I mean, they can't keep that much in stock. And you want to talk about the most popular cards selling out, I've never been to a local gaming store where they're not sold out of the most popular cards. I mean, my LGS basically doesn't even carry rare dual lands because just everybody wants them. It's like you're on your own getting them online because, they might open 16 of every one, but people are going to buy them on day 1 and then they're gone and nobody's going to trade them in. Also, I don't think they have a trade-in policy. I don't know. I never really asked. Somehow that didn't come up. So just think about it. Okay, so if you're an LGS, you've got to compete with online sales. You've got to compete with other people trading with other people to get what they want. But the way that they got their trade fodder was usually opening sealed packs, so you made money. Even if two people just traded, you kind of made money on that because you're the one who sold it to them in the first place. But because people don't, rely on an LGS to get every last card they need always reliably, you don't really have to maintain a perfect flawless inventory. If you're sold out of a card, you don't need to panic buy it and sell it at a loss. So, not perfect, but it's pretty much the most lucrative way to sell Magic products at all. Oh, and then you get all the WPN only stuff from the vault. You could sell that for whatever you want. You get, all kinds of prize support giveaways and stuff from Wizards, which obviously don't really make money off it, but you get people in the door and get the entry fees for F&M, so you kind of do. And remember, the master sets used to be WPN only, which totally perfectly kept them out of the hands of people who didn't really run shops. Oh yeah, that system was perfect. But still, those master sets, they're $139 or $135 a box at the highest discount I've ever seen. And stores can sell them for $240 flat. They don't even have to mark them down below MSRP because 10 a pack is what it is. The first run of EMA, I think people were selling it for 12 a pack in some areas because why not? You can get it. So those are guaranteed money. So even with the Amon Kets of the world and the Ixalans of the world, which are just dead on arrival garbage sets that just sit there and lose you money, you could make it up with sheer volume from the Masters sets. And then you get, other WPN only products like Plane Chase Anthology, which, bad example, sold like crap. But hopefully you guys get it. So that's why, the single sellers that are small fries, the super large mega sellers that are online, and the local gaming stores, they all buy from the same people. They buy in the same way at the same time as the same products. But holy crap, do they sell stuff differently. The method, where the profit comes from, how they sell stuff, what they choose to sell, how they maintain inventory, how they sort it, what they open, what they don't. It's huge. Oh, and by the way, totally forgot to mention, if you run an LGS and you start selling commons and uncommons in person, you've got a virtually limitless supply of them because you open 12 boxes, pure money, absolute pure profit. And you don't have to ship them. People could buy 4 25-cent cards and there's $1, and you just went from 150 return on a box to 151. If you sell a $1 uncommon, 4 of them, boom, $4 out of that box that you wouldn't have gotten, and if you were online, it would have cost you $3 to ship it. So overall, the best way to sell Magic products in general, and the best market, I guess you could say, is a local gaming store, by far. Second place is obviously the mega sellers, and it's not even profitable in the last 3 years, category goes to the small single sellers, and a lot of them have just quit and given up, I should say. That would be the correct way to phrase it. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Some people aren't remotely interested in card distribution and how it works, but some of you are like, whoa, peek behind the curtain, oh my god. So hopefully you found this video interesting. Otherwise, if you want to suggest a topic for another video, that would be lovely because I'm out of ideas. So leave it down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next video.